Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we will learn how we could go ahead and modify a data frame in Python. So the first thing which we need to learn is that we could also go ahead and modify a data frame. So till now we have learned about a few operations which we could carry on the data frame. So manipulating data frame also involves modifying a data frame or its properties over here. So as you could see in this step right here, we have actually added a new field which was called as profile. So now as you could see, as this field is currently undefined, now let's learn how we could go ahead and add some attribute over here to each and every row of this particular column or this particular field which is profile. So in order to do that, that is to basically modify a certain column of a data frame, what you simply need to do is that you need to type a new frame or whatever the name of your frame be. So you type in that name, and then what we do is that we simply go ahead and in square brackets in quotations you specify the column name. So in this case, as we are interested in the profile, you simply type in profile, then type this equals, and whatever post or whatever profile you want to assign all these particular rows over here. So in this case, let's say everybody is a doctor, so we'll simply type in doctor over here, and as soon as we do that, let's also go ahead and print out the frame as well. So let's type a new frame over here. So once you execute this, as you could see, now the profile of each and every person in your data frame actually changed to doctor. So this is how you could go ahead and modify a particular column. And now let's learn what happens if you by mistakenly modify a column which does not exist in your data frame at all. So right now, as you could see, we have this data frame over here and we have modified the column which is called as profile. And now let's say you modify something which is not present on the data frame currently. So let's say you want to specify something like let's say education. So let's say the education here is, let's say, MS. So if you do that and if you hit run, as you could see, nothing happens yet. You actually need to print out the frame as well. So now if you print out the frame value over here, as you could see, education is added over here as well. So if you actually go ahead and try to modify a particular field which is not present in your data frame, what that actually does is that it's going to go ahead and add in a new field or a new column over here, and it's going to assign this value which you have specified over here to each and every row of your data frame. So this is what actually happens when you go ahead and modify things into a data frame which actually does not exist previously. So once this thing is done, the next thing which we are going to learn about is we are going to learn about how to transpose a particular data frame. So by transpose, a transpose is nothing but it's actually converting the rows into columns and columns into rows. So right now, as you could see, we have rows and the row index actually is 0, 1 and 2 over here, and as you could see, we have columns which are called as name, age, salary, profile and education. So once you perform a transpose on this particular data frame, it's actually going to transform itself wherein these two things are going to be interchanged. So let's go ahead and try to do that as well. So that's going to be new underscore frame equals new frame, because we actually want to make changes to the frame. So we'll type new frame dot t, and t basically stands for transpose. So once you hit the play button, it's actually going to transpose the entire frame. So now if you try to go ahead and type in new underscore frame, and if you run this code, as you could see, now the frame is actually transposed wherein the columns are converted into rows and rows are actually converted to columns. Now if you want to bring back this structure, which is the previous structure again, then you could simply copy this line of code again and execute it again. That is basically going to make things as they were before. So if you run this, and now if you try to actually have a look at the frame, as you could see, now we have the frame as we have before. So this is another operation which you could perform with your data frame, which is called as a transpose operation, by simply appending a t over here, and you make sure to include a dot between the transpose operation and your data frame name. So that's it for this lecture, and in this lecture we learned a few things about modifying a data frame, that is how to change a particular column in your data frame and how to transpose your data frame. So these were actually some of the simple operations related to data frame which we have covered, and now we will jump on to much more complex operations like reindexing and everything like that. So we will learn how to reindex a series as well as a data frame. So from the next lecture onwards, we will learn about a few common operations related to both the series as well as data frames. So the next lecture is going to be on reindexing, that is how we could basically go ahead and reindex a series, and also we will learn how to reindex a particular data frame. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.